In my reaction to the new Mega Evolutions from Pokémon Mega Dimension, I told you I will cover the Mega Evolutions that have piqued my interest the most. And this is one of them, Mega Garchomp Z. So, as I anticipated in my reaction, this Pokemon is this Pokemon needed saving. Like, if we pick up the old Mega Garchomp, let's pick up base Garchomp as well, because Mega Garchomp Z deserves a bit more detail, because I think it's going to basically get revenge for all these years with this Mega Garchomp. So, the most important thing that people often criticize about Mega Garchomp is the stats, because most of the stats are not too bad on this Pokemon. 170 attack is very good, 115 defense is good, 95 defense is also very good for 108 HP. The problem starts when you start looking at special attack and speed. This Pokemon got massively nerfed. If we take a look at base Garchomp stats, you can see why they were very careful at giving this Pokemon a Mega Evolution. Garchomp is one of the best Pokemon of all time. It often finds its way even with higher level metagames, higher power level metagames. Doesn't always happen because often when Garchomp starts to fall off a bit, it's because powerful fairy types start to come back in the meta. It's not always the case, because when Tapus are around, you still see Garchomp around. The problem is when Xerneas starts coming back, now with Fluttermane, it's a whole nother problem. But overall, Garchomp is an amazingly good Pokemon. This Pokemon is very good, and the problem is mostly with the speed. 92 speed, it's 10 points less than base Garchomp, and basically destroyed this Pokemon whole career. Now, some people even say Sand Force was a big problem for this Pokemon, like the ability over Rough Skin for base Garchomp, but I really disagree. Like, I feel like a Sand Force Pokemon could find a niche in any metagame. Like, yes, you will have to drop Mega Titer and Excadrill, but if Wolfigleek found success with Mega Steelix, Mega Garchomp with a better speed stat would have absolutely demolished the meta. And I feel it's what they feared. And then in the same generation they released Mega Salamence. I struggle to understand Game Freak's thought process sometimes. Like, why would you release... like, you wanna give Mega Evolutions to your pseudo-legendaries. Okay, cool, fine, everybody loves that. Why does Salamence... okay, let's pick up base Salamence, which is already an amazingly good Pokemon, Intimidate, base 100, good attacking stats. Why would you give this Pokemon a better treatment than this Pokemon? Like, even Metagross. Like, look at this. Why is Garchomp the only one that got shafted out of all of this? What's the reason, Game Freak? Masuda? What's the reason? I don't understand. But now we Pokemon Legends Z, we have another chance. Mega Garchomp Z is very promising, mostly because it mixes this weird obsession of Game Freak of making Garchomp a special attack. Like, you can see even Mega Garchomp, the original one, has a lot of special attack. Like, why? this fulfills that prophecy, but also makes Mega Garchomp an actually good Pokemon for the first time in years. Ignore Neuroforce here. Smogon has created a metagame where essentially they try and give the new Mega Evolutions abilities with they think they may give to certain Pokemon. But they're not accurate. Like if we pick up the Dragonite, you can see it has Magiarna's ability. So yeah, ignore Neuroforce for now, because we don't know what ability this Pokemon has. Let's focus on what we know though. Though, if we wanna talk about the ability, anything better than Half Skin is welcome. Not that Half Skin is bad, but yeah, something to perhaps tap into the offensive side, perhaps adaptability, something like that. Like it needs to be as good as Mega Salamence. I don't know what if they wanna do something cool. They wanna give an ability that is kind of like Delmise, where it gets the stab, but without the typing for some moves, perhaps ground type. It still gets the stab, but doesn't get the type weaknesses. I don't know, but yeah, ignore Neuroforce. The first thing you may notice about Mega Garchomp Z is that loses the ground typing, as I said, and this, without the aforementioned possible ability, is an issue. This Pokemon does learn Earth Power, which is going to be probably the best ground type move in general for this Pokemon. Problem is, without the ground typing, loses the stab. So it's still a good move because it covers well the fact that you are able to steal it, steal types for super effective, but you're going to do a bit less damage. Earth Power, first move, good. Stabs, we have a couple of things to talk about, as I anticipated in my reaction. Draco Meteor is probably going to be the first choice, but I see a world where Dragon Pulse is going to be the most flexible choice. And I say this because this Pokemon has been blessed. This Pokemon was given Nasty Plot. It's kind of funny that this Pokemon, like only Garchomp, learns both moves that double your attack, like Nasty Plot and Sword Dance. Crazy stuff, Game Freak, crazy stuff. So yeah, it now learns Nasty Plot, meaning that you can double this massive 141 stab. Let me put this guy at level 50. At let's see, at max investment, this Pokemon, as you can see, is massively powerful. Good overall bulk. Like, despite losing some points in the defenses compared to base Garchomp and of course the original Mega Garchomp, it's still pretty decently bulky, especially because of this 108 HP. Now, most people are probably going to run this Pokemon like this, 252, 252. However, thanks to Nasty Plot being in the set, I can see a world where this Pokemon runs with a bit more bulk compared to the norm. As you can see, 162 with only 4 investment is still pretty good, especially if you double it with Nasty Plot later. Then you set up and you start dealing massive amount of damage. Of course, special setup is not the only way to play this Pokemon. Of course, you can play this Pokemon as a straight up attacker. Okay, let's see, Power Gem is probably going to be one of the best coverage along Flamethrower, but you don't really fear not hitting with a fire type move because you have a Dragon Stab. But yeah, this is probably also going to be one of these sets. Okay, you run full out attacker, just like this. Her power Dragon Pulse Power Gem or Flamethrower if the meta calls it, but you're probably fine with her power Dragon Pulse Power Gem. This is the best. This is probably going to be the first set people are going to try out with Mega Garchomp, perhaps not with the Dragon Pulse, but with the Draco Meteor. You have this very powerful, high damage Pokemon that's just so fast, it can outspeed everything. As I said, this speed stat 151 is not out of nowhere. It's done to make this Pokemon outspeed Calyrex Shadow. However, this Pokemon will maintain this speed even outside metagames with Calyrex Shadow. And we can see that it's a speed that it's faster than most Pokemon. Like it's faster than Mega Aerodactyl, which was probably the fastest Mega Evolution of all, before, of course, Pokemon Legends VA dropped. Yeah, it's probably among the fastest. The fastest, of course, is going to be Mega Zehora, but Mega Zehora is not legal, so we don't care about that. Yeah, it's very fast. Like the only 3 Mega Evolutions that have 151 speed are Absol, Garchomp, and Lucario Z. So yeah, this is going to be very fun. Of course, though, this is not the only way you can play this Pokemon. Because now, let me introduce you to the Mega Salamence special. Now, Mega Salamence, as you can see, is in a similar situation to Mega Garchomp Z. Has both attacks very high and can often use both. You use it Hyper Voice, Double Edge, though some people used to run Return, but Return is not in the game anymore. But Return would have been optimal to not take recoil damage, but let's put the Double Edge for now, Tailwind, and then Protect. Some players even opted to remove Tailwind and play Earthquake. So yeah, you play like this depending on your team needs, and then you will play it max speed, of course, and then you mix and match both the attacks, and then you make it drop the special defense. Let's see, perhaps you wanna run it Rush, or I don't know, wanna run it Naughty. Okay, it's how Mega Salamence was used, and Mega Garchomp Z is quite possibly going to be run in a very similar way. Perhaps even faster speed, yeah. Naive was the most popular speed nature of Mega Salamence, but this Pokemon is also way faster. So depending on who's in the... Like, you're so fast, you probably are not going to need a hasty nature or a nature that will boost your speed. Like, you go up to 203, it's a massive stat. But let's stick with that for a minute, and you mix and match the attacks as you need. How do you play this? Well, you probably still maintain her power, and the reason why you maintain her power, it's probably going to be the usual reason, which is Incineroar. Incineroar is going to intimidate you, and you still wanna hit it with her power. So yeah, but we're gonna talk about that in a minute. You may run Rock Slide over Power Gem. In this case, not only you do decent damage, but even if you get intimidated, Rock Slide is still going to do its job. Like, the power of Rock Slide, yes, it's the damage it's going to deal to the opponents. However, the real power of Rock Slide is chipping away both of your opponent's Pokemon and also the probability to flinch them. And with this high speed stat, you are going to see that happen a lot. This is going to be very annoying. It's not the only move that will justify an attack in nature. If you don't wanna drop your attack with the Dragon Meteor, you can also use Dragon Claw. There we go. So you have this combo where you basically attack on both sides of the defense spectrum. It's a combo that's going to be very powerful, even with more modern Pokemon. You use Earth Power. Perhaps you are scared of Archaludon. Like, you say, oh my god, there's Archaludon, I cannot hit it with Dragon Claw, I cannot hit it super effective with any other move, Rock Slide does nothing. You have Earth Power, you hit Archaludon where it hurts. The special defense, even with Assault Vest, you still deal more damage than attacking it with a defense with a physical attack. Also because this Pokemon has stamina, so hitting it with Earth Power means that you don't fear the stamina boosts for Archaludon. So yeah, it's a very important thing to have in mind when building Mega Garchomp Z. Otherwise, you may completely change. The set, and you can have something, a little trick that I anticipated in my reaction, which is Dragon Cheer. There we go. Dragon Cheer is a very powerful move because it boosts the attack and the crit rate stat of a Dragon Pokemon by 2. Now, it's not going to be 100%, but if you mix it with Gyarados, perhaps, I say Gyarados because it doesn't overlap with Garchomp's types. You can play a Taunt, Dragon Cheer, of course, Thunder Wave, and Waterfall. You may not, you would lose the opportunity to Mega Evolve, but for this set you don't need it. You play this very bulky, very annoying Gyarados that gives Dragon Cheer to Mega Garchomp Z, and then at that point you run Dragon Meteor. Okay, you don't fear the drops because you're going to crit most of your times. Careful, not all the times. And then you may even run Earthquake. You run Earthquake. Even if they intimidate you, they cannot escape the crit. So you have this opportunity as well. Now, doesn't seem like Focus Energy is in Pokemon Legends EA. It should have like Garchomp should have Focus Energy. No, it doesn't. Ooh. But still, you may wanna try this set. With Earthquake, you don't risk hitting your partner Gyarados because it's a flying type, and you still deal quite a bit of damage. You may still wanna maintain Rock Slide. So you have this very peculiar set. However, as I said, it's probably not going to be the most popular. The most popular are going to be the ones I mentioned, which are Earth Power, Dragon Pulse or Dragon Meteor, Rock Slide and Protect for the mixed set, or let me change the Garchomp, or the full special attacking set. I'm going to leave a slot blank because this last move can be either Power Gem or Nasty Plot depending on your needs. Can you play this Pokemon physical though? Yes, you can still play this Pokemon as a physical attacker. It's a shame that you give up this 141 attack, but at that point you have a very fast physical attacker that can set up Source Dance. Source Dance, Earthquake, Rock Slide perhaps, and then Protect. You run it, of course, as fast as possible, but you may also wanna run it kinda bulky, okay? You can use this, I'm not saying you cannot, it's probably going, like, Mega Garchomp Z is very flexible, okay? It can do a lot of different things. It will depend a lot on, let's put Nasty Plot as a counterpart. It will depend a lot on different factors. First of all, what team are you running? What's the meta? What the meta is going to call for? Let's make bulky this one as well. Okay. Yeah, it will depend a lot. Now, if it ends up like anything like Mega Salamence, the mixed set is probably going to be the more favorable. Very good Earth Power, very good Dragon Pulse. This Rock Slide can still deal massive amounts of damage. You may even run it with a bit less of attack because you use it only to spam Rock Slide, and then all special attack to actually deal burst damage with Dragon Pulse and Dragon Meteor or Earth Power. This is probably going to be the most popular set because looking at the stats, this Pokemon is absolutely broken. Like, this Pokemon had no business being this broken. But I feel like Game Freak said, okay, they didn't like, competitive players didn't like the original Mega Garchomp, so we are going to make Mega Garchomp actually good now. And it's probably why in Gen 9, despite all the power creep or all the new moves all their Pokemon received and got a massive buff from, it's probably the reason why this Pokemon didn't get Dragon Dance. At this point, I'm glad that this Pokemon didn't get Dragon Dance because, goodness gracious, this Pokemon is going to be a dream and a nightmare to have in the meta. A dream when you play it, a nightmare when you play against it. I predict this Pokemon is going to be very high usage, unless this Mono Dragon typing actually ends up hurting this Pokemon. But we'll have to see for Pokemon Champions to the Hop. So, who do we play the Mega Garchomps with? It's actually very easy. This Pokemon only basically needs, if it's going to set up with Nasty Plot or Source Dance, this Pokemon only needs, among the speed control, because if you will see a mirror match of Mega Garchomp Z, trust me, you will, this Pokemon is going to need all the help from speed control possible, even from a Pokemon such as Cresselia. Okay, Cresselia can help this Pokemon in two ways. First of all, it has Icy Wind. So if you have an opposing Pokemon that is faster, perhaps by one because of a Choice Scarf, you can drop the speed, or straight up if they set up too many speed control on their favor and against you, such as paralysis or too many Icy Winds to possibly recover. Though with many Icy Winds, it's possible that your Garchomp is already knocked down, and at that point you may as well be in a disadvantageous position. But in case your speed was dropped excessively and Icy Wind doesn't cut it anymore, you can run Trick Room. It's also a way to include on your team Pokemon that do well under Trick Room, or a way to remove it that are going to possibly be the best counters to Mega Garchomp Z. Slow Pokemon under Trick Room, so you can counter set it up or have it set up with your Pokemon that are slower than what they brought. So yeah, you can use Trick Room. Cressel is such a good Pokemon. It also learns Lunar Blessing, which is her peculiar move. Heals allies and status cured. It means that this Pokemon will be healed, both Cressel and Mega Garchomp, and any status moves that got inflicted to Garchomp is going to be healed. But I'm not sure if Cressel is going to be legal from the get-go in Pokemon Champions. But just to let you know, you will need a lot of speed control. And you are going to also need Follow Me. Follow Me in order to allow this Pokemon to set up and be safe. If you don't go for a setup, at that point you may just need the speed control and possibly a helping hand Pokemon. That way you can boost your damage further. That's pretty much it. This Pokemon is very flexible in terms of attack, but is very straightforward on what it needs to be successful on a team. You can subscribe for more updates and more analysis for the future. Goodbye.